Sorry about that. A little bit of a technical difficulty here. Good evening, Free Enterprise fans. Tonight on Randomania, here for a round of 16 match between Stone Dingley and Castro. I'm half your commentary team tonight. I'm Unstoppable Force, and as soon as he gets his situation straightened out, the other joining me in the booth will also be Commander Leonhardt. Big thanks in advance to HeartGamer26 doing tracking tonight, and Niabari on the restream. Looks like we have the twin that we don't want to coffin tonight in Palom. Be pretty interesting. And as much as our runners throughout this tournament have loved to fade music, there's a distinct possibility they won't get to do it tonight, with breaking the Dark Elf spell with the Twin Heart being one of our objectives. And it looks like we are off to the races. Oh, Palom getting paired with someone he has to carry right away. Spotting a free boss right off the bat in King Queen Evelyn and getting a hook. Love to see the hook right away. That may be our intended underground access right away with this team. So this team might need a little help getting its feet under it. Palom kind of missing a lot of his useful spells. Edward kind of missing a lot of his useful levels. But maybe we can hunt down a dancing dagger or two in early looting, and that'll let this team plow through some early bosses. But we'll have to see where Stone Dingley and Castro are off to, and if anybody can forge ahead with this team. We are in the round of 16 in Highway to the Zemus Zone 4, and we have some very talented runners still in the game. So let's see where they're heading.
Okay. Hey, looks like a Stone Dingley's going to the back of Watery Pass, and Castro's going to land outside of Damsian.
Yep, Castro opting for the tightly packed together treasure chest here in the Damsian Treasury, mostly finding a lot of gold in the jail upstairs.
I mean, maybe you go shopping early, but not what you're hoping for, I don't think. Maybe the basement will be better. Don't hate charm arrows.
Yeah, charm arrows are really good right off the bat. Decently strong arrow for Edward. If you can find a bow to go with it, maybe he can carry a little bit of his weight there. Looks like we're going to go ahead and raise the hovercraft while we're thinking about it.
Yeah, might as well while you're here. Get it out of the way. One reason a lot of runners like to go here early, there's a good chance you're going to use that hovercraft for something. Could be a hook route, could have a rat tail or a pink tail to turn in. Might just need to check the Evelyn shop after you run the magma route. All kinds of reasons.
Yeah, although now that since we got the hook as our starting item, we definitely might be running it. Castro pokes his nose into the waterfall to see if we got
yep. Apologies.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah,
internet issues at the beginning of a game, sometimes unavoidable. Free boss in the.
But yeah, that hook makes it much more fun. Yeah, and as chat's pointing out, free boss in a spot you don't have to go to is generally not good news.
Yeah, not great. So a little divergence here. Castro looks like he's going for a little bit of shopping, maybe a little bit of looting here in the nice Cave Evelyn treasure chest, maybe picking up a third character. Stone Dingley going up Hobbs to see if he can fill out his party a little more. Finds an old man and Lunar Sparkle.
Ooh. Right at the moment, I'm cheering for Castro because Castro. Oh wait, no, you're ruining Castro. Keep Eddie up front. Keep Eddie up front. Oh, don't fail me now.
And Mortellas.
I mean, you're getting a Tella wherever you go, and that's a DKC in the Ruby spot, which is a lot better than having him in one spot up at King Queen Evelyn.
Yeah, it's nice of him to slide back there. His Dark Waves are a little more reasonable as opposed to hitting for way too much.
Yeah, and you don't care about the high hit points at the Ruby spot for that boss because you just survive the 3 ways and listen to a speech about justice or something.
or something. He's just babbling. Yeah, as chat points out, we also started with an Edward, so we could just that DKC could be free. Depending on what's in front of him, we could. I mean,
True.
we could get through it now, but probably not.
Yeah, but a Stone Dingley, having no trouble with the D-Lunars, gets his Tela and finds a Soma drop that he immediately gives to Tela to put Meteo online once he goes through ordeals.
Yep. Also, really, Tela being at 100 MP, besides being able to cast Meteo without killing himself, is just really nice for evening out those grinds we'll probably see coming up later.
Yeah, that's an even more useful thing to have, and a very good point. It gets you to 4 weeks on a full dose of MP.
Ooh, Stone Dingley finds the Alt Gauntlet at the bottom of Antlion Cave and just resets out of it. Not right now.
Says, you know what? You're probably, well, okay. No, not worth my time. Says, I'll find some better things to do.
Yeah, it would just be obnoxiously slow. Castro turning up lots of good mage gear and also an Elven Bow here in Cave Evelyn. So Cave Evelyn looting definitely paying off with this comp.
Yeah. Dingley probably thinking, you know, maybe I get another character. Maybe if there's someone that needs levels, they benefit from that gauntlet a little bit when I get back. So bad news coming for him on that front.
Really, 2 Telas available right off the bat. And does turn up a Dancing Dagger there in the chest at the front of Emblem, which I believe Castro passed up. That would be really nice for these first couple fights, and even further than that for Edward.
Yeah, you can get level 2 spells on Palin, get the Dancing Dagger on Edward, let Tela do his thing with early blinks and heals. Yeah, you could work your way through a few fights, definitely.
And there we go. So, Dingley heading in to loot and get disappointed by a duplicate Tela. Castro heading out with his new loot. Let's see where he has to head off to next now that he feels a little more equipped. Hobbs hoping for another character.
And Castro too will learn the disappointment of the Duke Tela.
So we are looking at a potentially a hook route here with some fairly flimsy characters, but if we can get that Palom online, he can maybe quake his way through it.
Yeah, and as we've already mentioned, the DKC isn't really the issue, especially not with Edward. It's more of what might be in front of King Queen Evelyn. There are some rude possibilities, although another super rude possibility there is something that Edward can handle. That would be Evil Wall.
That would be amazing to put two Edward short-circuited bosses back to back. Although
I'm here for it.
I would love to see it. The odds of something like that looking more likely as we see free bosses get taken out of the pool with one of the guards fights at the waterfall and King and Queen Evelyn playing the part of Baigen tonight. So our free bosses are dwindling.
And yep, chat called it. Castro sees that the sparkle on Hobbs is not Wyvern, resets out, will miss out on that Soma drop.
A small price to pay for a fight that really doesn't get him. There's really nothing there for him except that Soma drop, I guess. Although now he's going to see the Gauntlet of Antlion. It'll be interesting to see if he sticks around to take care of him.
Right. I think I missed it, but I think chat mentioned a Silk Web back there as well, which is something you'd like to find one of somewhere along the way. Won't be seeing it in the shop.
Yeah, that could potentially be a very important pickup on the other hand. I've got a Lunar Sparkle here at Fabul, but it's just Plague.
Meh. So 2 sparkles down.
Every Lunar Sparkle except the one you really want to find. Tela putting his early HP pool of 340 to use and exploding on Plague.
The power of the Telekamikaze. Also, gets that count reset. The moment Plague sees Tela up without a count on him, he's going to reset the numbers on everybody.
That's good quick thinking.
Dancing Dagger almost as good as Explode.
Tella's just chipping in spells. Castro has seen the Alt Gauntlet and appears to be waiting for his turn to come up, so Castro is evidently going to fight through these. This will be a nice bit of XP to get his Palom online, and Eddie's got the Dancing Dagger to take out one enemy each time, and Tella is also here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Palom will still have enough MP after that ice to cast a level 2 spell 3 times. And I'm willing to bet that each of those level 2 casts multi-target will completely clear an encounter.
On Stone Dingley's side, he has pushed through the plague, and we'll have to see what the King of Fabul has for us today.
And everybody gets XP!
Woohoo! An early Darkness Crystal.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Look out!
Alright, so we got Tella from our first character check for each runner, and the Darkness Crystal from Stone Dingley's first key item check. A very
with all the dupes we found, you have the quandaries of when you do your D money. I mean, you can't slingshot without a full party, and you definitely want a full party anyway because you don't want to bring somebody in that missed on that XP. So, might not be able to do that quick D money.
Yep, I think at this point, once they get the darkness, our runners are just kind of counting down the key items and/or characters until they can do it. If it can negate a rough hook route, then I could see it happening. I could also just see a trip to the moon soon to see who's up there. Hopefully, not a third Tella.
Also, to explain something I mentioned earlier, the reason, in case anyone didn't know, that everyone in a Stone Dingley's party got XP from the Fabul defense fight, even though Palom was on the ground, is that Palom is the start character and we have the Sea Hero flag.
Yep, as our hero, Palom will receive XP even if he is unconscious on the ground. He cannot be removed from the party at all. There are no other Paloms in this seed. All our battle speeds are relative to Paloms, which can be interesting. And if you bring the Legend Sword and Adamant to Kakal, he'll forge a nice mage weapon for Palom. So Dingley spotting a character who is not Tella in a Yang here in the Baron Inn. Is this even randomized?
Yep. Is it? Is it? I'm not sure. If we find a Yang in the second spot, in addition to Spider-Man meme. I was busy staring at Yang, and I completely missed what Castro got for the gauntlet at Antline, though it apparently wasn't a key item.
I believe it might be that Lunar Staff in his inventory. Chat confirms it is the Lunar Staff. So fights through all that, doesn't even get a key item.
Right. Tella says, cool, nice staff, but no. Not worth.
Yeah, it's all right. At least he got the levels out of it, so it wasn't a total zonk, I guess. But Castro now on the way to get his Darkest Crystal from Fabul, and Stone Dingley finds the elements in the second position here. It's opting to bounce spells onto them, keep them in that Mylon Z form. Fire Weak and have a fraction of the HP.
Yeah.
Now he's got a Punch Mage.
Mm-hmm.
And a nice crystal shield for Mr. Not appearing in this seed yet.
A lot of whiffs early. It's making that early darkness with its call to the moon potentially more valuable.
Yeah, with the key items being distributed between the main key item slots and the moon. Each time we find a zonk on Earth, it just means there's probably another one on the moon. So we're probably going to get.
I think we have room for one and only one zonk among the mains before we start having to push things to the moon.
That's true. So I think at this point we're going to get to see all kinds of things in this seed we haven't gotten to see in all of our ZZ4 races, like lunar dives and maybe music. Berserk now asking if you would call that call to the moon a lunar cry. Commander, you're our local FF8 super fan. What do you think?
I will call just about anything a lunar cry given the chance, though. It tends to be my reaction to seeing a bunch of early sparkles. All the bosses, the monsters from the moon, came down to the earth.
Makes perfect sense. Here's another blue robe on Stone Dingley's side. We know this one has to be the water hag.
Indeed.
Yeah, our free boss pool gets a little bit smaller. Castro gets his Darkness Crystal, and probably going to pick up some Ether 2s here in Kabul as well. We found the choice consumable for helping Tella out with the demoning grind later in both Baron and Fabula.
Yeah, the pieces are starting to come together for that. We might end up having to fill time while both our runners deal with mechanical dragons.
Well, it
and Neobari, yes, we're just shoving rudeness to the required moon. Although we did get Alt Gauntlet out of the way.
Yeah, I'm always pulling for that Alt Gauntlet at the Ogopogo spot, and unfortunately I won't get it tonight, but maybe it'll be something equally mean.
And both our runners showing why they've made it to the round of 16. They're making a lot of the same calls, a lot of right calls. Castro's only a little behind even after running through that gauntlet, but is going right to the same spot as Stone Dingley is.
Yeah, doesn't have a punch mage yet, but is definitely interested in getting his Tella online sooner rather than later, and is going to be rewarded with a pair of free bosses here, as long as you have some way to either DPS race this Bahamut or get through his or reflect his Mega Nuke onto him, as Stone Dingley just did.
Yeah, the magic at this spot is kind of insane. And so just one wall up will easily deal with the HP that's here.
Which is weird, because Mylon Z doesn't cast any spells, so I'd love to see it. Chat asks, who's the hero tonight? It's Halom.
Yeah. It works that way often in the randomizer. Either a boss that doesn't use magic, or the only magic they use as a status effect, like the Vanilla Valvalis spot where she has her raise. They will put the magic through the roof.
It's interesting. I wonder if maybe he was... I know he has Curse when you encounter him later in the Elements fight, but I don't remember ever seeing it in this version. Mm-hmm. Stone Dingley finds Twin Harp. That's an objective if he wants to go knock that out soon. And we already know where the Elements is, so this is Rubicant.
I think we'll see leg just long enough for an Ice 2 to land. Or we could just go straight to Virus. But we will see leg at least.
Yep, leg poke it out and leg caught a Virus. Alright, so Stone Dingley getting Tella online, potentially having a couple options here now. Could go pick up a character from the moon, see if that's 5. Could go chase that music, although it might be a little early. What would you do if this was you, Commander?
5th character on the moon. And then quite possibly D-Money.
Yeah, and possibly getting into that grind as early as 20 minutes into the seed would be... I don't know if it'd be a new ZC4 record, but it would be interesting.
Yeah, but... yeah, I feel like, especially with a hook route potentially looming, just go ahead and grind if you like your party. Much as I love Edward, I will acknowledge that a runner that chose to continue to look for a replacement for Edward before grinding would not be wrong. So there's that thought. But, I mean, we just don't have much left. Like, we've done all the checks we can other than Twin Harp. So your choices really are dive the moon low level, ugh, get your D-money handled, check Twin Harp, or run the hook route as you are. And yeah, I would probably grind if I've got a 5th character on the moon.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily want to take Edward to high levels on your grind, but sometimes you take the characters you have, not the characters you want.
Yeah, and if you find someone soon enough, they can still get Slingshot as you're working your way through the rest of the seed and possibly get to somewhere where they can contribute.
Exactly, especially with it looking like we're probably going to have to take on maybe several moon bosses to finish out the seed tonight. Unless the items hiding up there are ones we don't actually need. Castro coming down off Mount Ordeals now as well with his powered up Tella. Stone Dingley has launched the big whale, did a little more shopping, and now we're going to go check out that character and maybe see if we can find a freebie on in Cape Bahamut, although it seems very unlikely.
Yeah, they're really just free in quotation marks at this point. Like Baron Guards, I mean, we spoke earlier of spots that don't use magic. Since Bahamut never hits you, turns out any boss that gets into this spot really likes to hit you.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot to find, for example, Odin. Every one of his punches in Cave Bahamut will pretty much knock a character over, but then his big bad Zantetsuken does about 700 damage.
Yeah. Though, we haven't seen King Queen Emblem yet. That's the freest of the free.
That was unfortunately something that came
somebody in chat called for a Moon Lord. You got it.
Somebody has cursed them with a Moon Word. Yeah, unfortunately, when your internet was croaking, the King Queen Evelyn handed us our starting key items, so they're hanging out in Castle Baron.
Oh, my bad.
So that's what yeah, our key item, our free boss pool is even more shallow than you imagined.
Yeah. Dark Imp, Center Slot Tella, hope they don't punch him? Yeah, that seems bad. That feels real bad, but it's about all I've got.
Oh, yeah, that's a slot machine is what that is.
Yeah, it is. And he better be Center Slot if you want any chance of that coming up. Good.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Shmoo, they've checked the character, found a duplicate Tella, or in one runner's case, the first, and seen that DKC is the Ruby boss, but that's all.
Yep, Yang was hanging out in the Baron Inn being vanilla.
Alright, that Dark Elf is half free. Once we get to the second part, slap it with a quick weak spell and call it a day, but he's still going to bring some pain beforehand.
Yeah, so that early grind looking even less likely unless our runners somehow want to grind without a slingshot. I'd say probably...
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. Not just for this whole route.
No, thank you. Maybe
I think you get underground now.
Yeah, if you don't get underground, you're going to go look at music. And as you said, these two just kind of following in each other's footsteps. Castro now here to raise the big whale. Stone Dingley with a little more power under his belt. Got to go back and get his lunar staff from the Antland Cave, unfortunately.
Yep, I'm still hoping for... Probably hoping for a lot of things here. Not just magma, but like, you'd be happy with anything that gives you a potential character. Like a Baron Key, an Earth Crystal, heck, maybe even a package, certainly a Sand Ruby, but unfortunately none of that is here for.
Nope, but he will find that out 5 quick fights from now. An Earth Crystal would be stellar right now. You could potentially fill out a 5th slot and replace that Edward at the same time.
And also give us a chance to rate that treasury this early in the seed. That loot could be very valuable. Yeah,
the earlier you can get in there and loot those items, the better they get. So that's definitely a great early pull on this flag set. Castro is off to the moon to get the bad news about his Duke Edward.
Yeah, and we got some people in chat just calling for the early grind now, just to get people online, and it would be an interesting move. It wouldn't be wrong. The advantages they're pointing out are good. Goodness knows Yang wants a bunch of levels for his HP and his damage output, and Palom, like any mage, says, "Can I please learn better spells?"
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to, grind Palom all the way to nuke, especially since we've got a lot more seed to cover at the 24-minute mark. Gets Yang online. No, it's not the worst idea. I just
Yeah, it's not the move
it's
I
a lot
would
of
make,
fun.
but I could understand.
Yeah, I potentially rather than something like the giant, maybe hitting up something like Cave Evelyn Trapped Chests. There's a few of those that can be gotten pretty early, depending on what gear you're toting around. Maybe to fight the Stalemen.
Yeah, and the castle itself, if we can get Palom to Quake, that'll take care of 2 of the fights. That just leaves Mad Ogres to be dealt with somehow, but maybe you just let that chest go.
Yeah, you could potentially take those with Edward, who I believe would, based on the fact these runners are following each other practically, has an Elven Bow and Charm Arrows. He can probably do some decent damage to Mad Ogres from the center slot.
That's a good point. It's a very heads up look. Yeah, both of those either one of those would target ogres for the weakness. That would be very nice.
Yeah,
we don't exactly have an ideal archer, but you take what you can get sometimes.
Yep. Stone Dingley reset out of his Lunar Staff, and he's reset out of the first trap chest he found here, the Stalemen and Skulls fight. Might actually even be
so
hunting
he's just coming here for...
ogres.
Yeah, or he might just be here for loot. I think that, you could fire 2 down the skulls without too much trouble, and then you just got to deal with an angry Staleman, so might just be strictly here for loot and not for XP.
Yeah, a little more loot never hurts. Definitely could use some elemental claws for Gong. Maybe some more strength boosting gear would be nice. It's not going to do much yet, but it's nice for him to have options when he's punching bosses with elemental weakness. Castro,
yeah, definitely just here for loot. And chat's pointing out that that you can use stone here, but a Stone Dingley is not set up for that. As we're saying, you want Tella in the center slot to get that 25% boost to the spell's hit chance.
Yeah, you don't want Tella missing a stone in a situation where your characters are in danger. So he could easily move him up there if that's what he wants to do, but I believe Dingley may just be looking for loot right now.
Well, we're getting a lot of pieces for a wonderful female archer. We've now seen samurai arrows. We've seen the Elven Bow you mentioned, and now a heroine robe. But if we could, actually find someone that could wear that robe, that would be nice.
Ah, Porum. Yes, perfect. Let's find one of those.
Now, if we change that heroine robe to a power shirt, then, we can maybe, get some work done. Although that might just end up going on.
So there we go. Stone Dingley finds the Mad Ogre chest, does not reset, and shows off an Hourglass 2 that he picked up earlier.
Yep.
Stone Dingley is going to take on these ogres. Castro, on the other hand, is setting up to go to the Giant of Babel.
Yeah. I think it's... I think it's gotta be D Machine. I don't see a party that's going to survive Mac Giant punches or take them down quickly here unless you're just going to, I think this has got to be D Machine.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of the claws that would help Yang contribute to Mac Giants, especially. So you'd be relying on Edward. That doesn't seem like a great idea. So yeah, I'd say Castro is probably off to fight some Clockwork Dragons.
I like this though. Stone Dingley lands a couple of weeks and finishes off the ogres with a well-placed kick from Yang.
Shout out to Kick. You don't get to see enough of it. Mostly because it's
Right?
not that great.
Right? I've heard people say their favorite thing to do with kick is, well, to use it in D machine grind to trigger the attack, the summon from the searcher, which is definitely a commentary.
Yeah, when you're looking for something that only does 10 to 20 damage, kick is there for you.
Crystal Ring is a good grab, though. That is, for defensive purposes, my favorite thing to put in the arm slot. It's got some amazing numbers all around and gives you 5 to agility and protects you from paralyze and dragons. And it's good times.
Yeah, I will never say no to agility manipulating gear on Sea Hero because sometimes you just need to tweak someone's agility up. Stone Dingley landing at the Baron Chocobo Force, flying up to Cade Magnus. So we're going to get a nice early listen to music and see who's hiding down here.
Yeah, a bit of swag there from a Stone Dingley. Once you set foot on the big whale, a black chocobo appears in the Barren Forest.
I did not know that was what triggered that. Nice. Yeah, we've had a lot of runners who are fans of Fading Heart, but Stone Dingley knows an objective when he sees one, and he's off to maybe rummage up another key item, maybe hoping this is the other intended underground access. If he turns up a magma key here, this would be huge.
Changes everything. A Baron key would be huge. It would lead to another objective and also give a check. So, a lot of possibilities that we're going to find out about after the song.
Yep, and Neobari, if you make the people listen to a D machine grind instead of music, they will collectively newspaper you. Alright, Dark Elf.
Yeah, Jim Runter brings up a good point. Sala's going to have to do the healing on that D-Money grind. It's not going to be good times. But enough about that. Another great song from DJ Spoony Bard.
What a cheerful little tune. And we find a spoon that Edward can't wield. Sorry, Edward.
Let Edward stab things!
please. Meanwhile, over on Castro's side, that D-Money grind goes off the rails very quickly. If it's gonna go wrong, you'd rather see it there, I imagine, than having to get 10 or 12 D machines in and then something goes wrong.
Yeah, I had a recent D-Money grind that, I fumbled it after I had taken out my required number of machines. It was,
It's just, in a race environment, it's just a very disheartening feeling to know that I just sank X minutes into killing all these dragons and for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like we might be finally seeing who the first boss in this hook route is. Stone Dingley looks like he's striding in there with purpose. Gonna go dive this route and get underground.
Yeah, and I feel like this King Queen Evelyn monster has so much to say in how this seed plays out, which, not a terribly insightful comment on a hook route, but even more so for this as we see Castro doing a D-Money grind. If this is super rude, then what Castro's doing makes all kinds of sense and he'll be able to make up the time, but if it's something relatively light and breezy, then this looks bad.
Yeah, Dingley giving us a nice extended poison walk on our way down there. Thank you. Gonna head down to except the boss here at King Queen Evelyn pretty much makes or breaks this, because with Edward, Dark Knight Cecil's free, and you don't even have to worry about consumables or having him alive, because he'll get healed at the beginning, and then all he has to do is hide.
Chanel, what went wrong in this seed? We have these 4 characters in a hook route. That sums it up.
Yep.
Your choices are Dive the Moon, Grind, or Brave the hook route with this party.
Yep. Our runners started with the hook, and their very first key item chest that paid out, our key item check that paid out was the Darkness Crystal. The first 2 character slots available at the beginning were Tella and Tella. So the seed wants you to grind and or do the hook route and or both. Castro unfortunately having to take another wipe. His D-Money fights are not as smooth as you might hope right now.
No, you cannot guarantee a D-Money, especially in the Age of Sea hero. Granted, Palom is not the fastest hero, but Tella is a slow enough character at these levels that you still are running the risk of your turns getting out of order and things going off the rails. And as Chad has pointed out earlier, you just don't have that white mage you really, really want.
Yeah, your white mage is Tella. Unfortunately, he's also your healing. He's also your weak caster right now. It's a lot of responsibility for a Tella. King Queen Evelyn fight is karate.
Yeah, we're talking about punchy bosses and that spot being punchy. That spot likes to punch.
Yeah, King Queen Evelyn may not punch, but anybody who's in their spot will. And that Yang's kicks are going to be survivable, but each of his punches is going to knock over a character, guaranteed.
Yeah, just straight up one shot. Tellas will be hard pressed to keep things going with blinks. And you still got to figure out a way in the midst of keeping alive to put up about 6k of damage, which it's a mess. I do like Berserk Now's call about a hair dryers. You go up there, try and land a stone on them.
Yeah, some hair dryer chest, maybe the reaction grind, looking for the balloon fight that you can hit with a lit one, and it will then blow up everyone else with it. One person survives Karate's opening punch, but then the kick takes Palom out. So,
back row hype. Oh, dang it! That's still a pretty solid kick. What was that, like about 170 to 250, depending on who it landed?
Yeah, it was.
Stone Dingley
it was just enough.
Yeah, Stone Dingley says, "I will not beat my head on this wall. I know a bad scenario for me when I see it. So off to the whale, but what for?"
Looks like also for a grind concludes that the thing to get past that karate man is levels.
Yeah, so even though Castro has 2 failed grinds and probably is not feeling really solid about this, he's got a small lead now.
Oof, this one gets a little shaky too, but Yang does take down the dragon.
You got the weekend though, that's the important thing. You can take your time and recover now. You know, Waterfall was Tower, or the officer and the soldiers, but I don't remember what Mist Cave was. It has been checked though.
Yeah, I saw it was a freebie, but I blinked or not a freebie, but I blinked and I missed it. So.
Oh, thank you,
Mist was Evil Wall. That is a shame. You would kind of like to see that somewhere where Edward could just hide from it.
Yeah. So while our runners are working through the D machine grind, I would like to share something with you that I learned today, Stoppable Force.
I'd love to hear it, Commander.
Did you know that Mortal Kombat is based on an old Scandinavian church song?
What song's that?
It's a Finnish hymn.
But oh, love it.
Duck!
It gets me every time. Folks, we got to fill this air somehow, and tonight's is
right. Chat will kill me if I repeat it. Apex Corvid, just go watch the VOD.
Yep, we'll leave the mic on, and you guys can entertain yourself with the sound of gently smacking Commander Leonhardt with newspapers.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Alright, Stone Dingley may have found his grind here, and it looks like we're going to get the nice mirrored setup. That's fun. So if we got to have mirrored grinds, they can at least be aesthetically pleasing.
Easy force.
K-Trap Dark Matter Hunt with something worth fighting for. Ooh.
Hey, something worth fighting for gave birth to the Armadillo grind. Love me something worth fighting for.
The Armadillo grind? I'm not familiar.
Okay, so here's what happened. It was a wacky race on a Saturday, and I had gotten to Dwarf Castle, and I had finished Dwarf Castle. But I didn't have warp on my Palom, and I needed warp to do the warp glitch. And so I just started opening up treasures in Dwarf Castle and killing off the armadillos and the whatnots until Palom learned warp, and then I warped all the way back in.
That is some heads-up thinking to get warp there. Very good. Armadillo grind.
Armadillo grind, best grind.
Well, it looks like things have kind of evened out now here for our runners. There's Kick taking out a D-Bunny. You don't get to see that too often. And then bring up a new dragon.
It's a little efficient though, you polish off the D machine and then summon the next one right away, as long as everyone's still healthy. Save a little time.
Yeah, and our runners do have big piles of Cure 2s, so even if Tella's not doing the healing, Eddie certainly can. Chat making a truism. Everything is a grind if you're desperate enough.
True. If you're desperate enough. Fun fact. The imps in the barren field outside of town will drop hourglasses if you're determined enough. The Nova Astris gets it. See?
Hey, that hourglass just opens up further possibilities. That's just it's just using your noggin is all that is.
Yeah, Castro, keeping Edward down. One less person to try and keep alive with potions. Looking at those ether ones. Push it a little farther, but it might be time to wind that up. Neobari, I fail your pop quiz. I haven't been counting.
How many D-runner money has each runner done so far? I have no idea. At least one.
I got nothing.
I will be curious to see how many they do, since we're getting none of our usual XP bonuses that you really want on one of these grinds. We have 3 whole key items. We don't have a full party. So no slingshot, no XP bonus for having 10 key items. Maybe this is the just enough XP to get going grind, and they're not really going to sit here and kill 20 to 30 of these, we hope.
Yeah. And you imagine they both feel behind. They both sunk a lot of time into things that didn't work out. A Stone Dingley into the dive, Castro into the first couple of attempts at D-Money.
Yeah, and then both of them have also done the alt gauntlet that didn't pay off. So, yeah, I imagine they're both just, assuming at this point, oh, I'm way behind. I need XP. I need to get powered up. I need to go. Little do they know.
Yeah, I think they can accept the alt gauntlet time loss. They figure that at some point their opponent made that check before doing, well, this nonsense.
Yeah, as long as your opponent isn't PK4787, you can assume they probably checked. Antlion Cave. There we go. Stone Dingley calling it at 315,000 XP. Gonna get out of his grind and go back down the hook road now. See what the Karate Man wants to do. 21 levels there on Yang. I saw a lot of spells on Palom, but most important one, Quake. And probably warped.
And
so
Yang's tough enough to...
No armadillos for Palom today.
Yeah. Alas. But... yeah, and also that Yang is going to be tough enough to stand up to his evil counterpart with all of those hit points. Neobari, did you put Wyvern at elements? Did you put You did, didn't you? Come on.
I thought I saw somebody peek it, but maybe I imagined it. And I have to agree with Jay Brunter and Chatter. I would definitely have at least peeked for Wyvern. And then reset out of pretty much anything else. Because if Wyvern's at CPU, he can just stay there.
Yeah. And as we've commented earlier, there's not much left in the way of free for us to go, oh, hey, thanks for the XP.
Yeah, the best tier that you're looking for, probably, since your Tel is already in the center slot. If you turned up, it's the same thing as Dark Imps at Cave Bahamut. If you turned up Dark Imps at Elements, you just try and cast a stone and hope they don't punch Tella. But that is that one, though, is a slot machine fight that a lot of XP falls out of, which would also be nice.
Right. Similar theory for bearing guards. You've got options other than stone there to neutralize them, but that could work.
Yeah, could mute them, could stop them, could totem, I guess.
Yeah, all of that'll work.
All right, Stone Dingley taking his newfound power down to the hook rack. Gonna show that Karate Man what's what. Castro appears to be grinding out a little more XP. His grind has been a little shakier overall, but I think he's got things online now. Just 2 characters up. Palom doesn't actually need to stand up for any of this. Yang can take down the D machines just fine on his own. That's a lot fewer characters to try and jump turn order too, which is really nice in this fight.
Yeah. It's that time when you're expecting Tella to come up for the week and he doesn't, and you're taking a little more fire than necessary that makes everything go off the rails. Yeah, just keep in mind, Rybon, a Stone Dingley went all the way to the hook route and saw the karate at King Queen before saying, okay, fine. Castro, on the other hand, just went straight here after only seeing the Ruby character.
Yeah, at this point, Castro just assumes that he's going to need the levels anyway to get the hit points to. Well, he doesn't, because I keep forgetting we have Edward. Edward will make that DKC free for the first person to get past the Karate Man and the King Queen Evelyn spot.
Yeah, if he's fast enough to get out at 223. I don't know the strength of a Dark Wave at that spot, but I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped Edward if he didn't get out before the first wave.
Yeah, a single one probably would. Dingley has the advantage that he can put the Crystal Ring on his Edward between fights to guarantee he gets hidden if he wants to.
Yeah, that should be enough to get him to RA1. And then he just has to lower the battle speed enough to get the input in. So a Stone Dingley might be on the ground in an hour, which normally for a hook route you say is an alright time.
Yeah, anywhere between the 45 to an hour minute mark, or 45 to an hour mark, I'm pretty happy with the hook route underground there. There we go. Young is this Karate Man fight looking a lot more reasonable now. He's not one-shotting everybody, except almost Edward.
Yeah, he punched Edward and threw a kick around, and Edward is still standing.
Edward punched him back.
But he's out of arrows.
So now we know who the superior martial artist is. Stone Dingley is through the Karate Man fight thanks to the power of Quake and more levels. So it's time for the DKC. Feels confident enough he's not even going to save. He's going to just hop right into this fight. Of course, he doesn't have to worry about hiding Edward. He has Yang, and Yang has 2,800 hit points.
Right. He's going to hide him anyway, because why not? But, yeah, and those waves definitely would just about take out the entire party on Castro's side.
That's true, but on this side, only Tella goes down, and they even bring him back up for some more XP. So at the 51 minute mark, we're going to have our first runner underground. This is Stone Dingley clears the underground.
Yeah, which has got to mean that Castro's just going for a much longer grind here. You might be taking Column all the way to Nuke.
Yeah, if he's still in this, he's in it for the long haul. Yeah, like you, I have to assume he's going for Nuke and just plans to put the rest of the seed in the microwave at this point.
Yeah, he just tossed his last Ether 2, so he's got 3 weeks still left loaded, assuming he doesn't need to use more than 15 MP for heals. So he might summon one more D-Machine, unless he's got an Ether 1 stash hanging out somewhere. Or he might be done.
You can also always life up this Palom and
he's done.
Psych away his MP, but yep, he's done.
Yeah, that's true. You could go that route.
Alright, I'll be very interested to see this final XP total, see how much Castro got through.
I'll say the first number is a 6.
Alright. 813,200. Almost a million. Almost a million XP outright.
Yeah, that'll get the job done.
All right, well, Castro's going to go make mincemeat of the rest of the seed while Stone Dingley dives into the Fey March to check his freebies. Maybe look at those bosses and see if there's a Lunar Sparkle that might be our Wyvern hiding down here. Or a D-Mist. We still have not seen the Dragon of Mist, which is hiding a key item on this flight.
And Palom did end up missing Nuke, only by a couple levels, but Castro will check the element spot.
Ooh, Antlion. Ooh.
Ha! And he says no, they
Nope. That can just stay there.
Goodbye.
I don't know what Antlion's doing off the moon, but we're not going to find out.
And while we were busy looking at the element spot, it would appear that a stone Dingley found the rat tail in the Famart Shreeby, so there's another scoop of vanilla for you.
Well, there's Asura, a French vanilla Asura, having scooted over into the king spot and invited the Maga sisters in to be the queen spot today. So those are probably both just going to stay where they are.
So that's our canon couple for this seed, Maga sisters and Asura.
Sometimes a king and queen of a town of monsters can be a polycule.
Sometimes.
All right,
Suddenly going over to Dwarf Castle because, hey, this party could still use another character.
Please give me one more character. At this point, pretty much anybody they find will also get a slingshot, so that's an interesting knock-on effect from the from the grind he already did, and that I believe was Dr. Lugay in the first spot.
Grrr.
So the first thing we're going to do is get talked at.
But somewhere along the way, we'll get a reprise of music, and that'll be fun.
Yeah, Castro diving into Cave Magnus. We get to hear that nice cheery tune again. I would not be upset about a reprise of it. It was a very positive tune for this slog of a scene.
There might not be time for Grr. This is a very slow spot and a very high level party.
Yeah, Grr is over.
Yeah,
we might not even get to see the real fight that Dr. Lugay is threatening to show us.
Yeah, we might not.
Yeah, we got a Quake coming out from the Quake Kid and a virus coming out from Tella if that doesn't do it. And that did it. So that was the real fight, apparently.
Real enough to need more than Quake.
Only real downside there, the minimal amount of XP gained from it, since we didn't see the Balnab Z or Lugay board forms. So, is this a vanilla Golbez?
It is!
But, more importantly, here's a Porum.
Hey, about that heroine robe. About that healing.
Yeah, you got a question at this point. Is this your healer, or is this now your bow DPS? Stone Dingley using this spot speed.
Stone Dingley.
Yeah, knocking over Palom, hiding Edward, attempting to knock over Tella.
Yeah. Wanted to have only 2 people standing so that he could control who got the demolish. In that case, it would have been nobody. The Crystal Ring will keep Palom alive, so as long as the Shadow Dragon doesn't take him out, I think Palom ends this fight before Golbez even gets a chance to say, let's finish this.
And that's that.
Saved a little bit of time in a very long fight.
Alright, Castro finishing up music at the same time. We're going to get his not so useful spin.
Let's see if this key item opens anything up, or if we're just going to have a possible just Sheila 1 rat check.
A vanilla Luca key.
The vanilla just keeps on coming, and I am here for it.
Neobari channeling Dathis tonight with all the vanilla in this sea.
So far, we've had a vanilla young character in Baron. We've had a vanilla Golbez. We've had a vanilla Luca key. And dang it, I know there's a fourth one.
So there's French vanilla Asura and a vanilla rat tail.
Ah, the rat tail was the fourth one. Thank you.
All right, Dwarf Castle, really good pickups for our mage heavy party here. Sorcerer robes and black shirts. Stone Dingley picking up 3 of those sorcerer robes for his 3 mages right off the bat. That's gonna be a great pickup.
Yeah, +5 to wisdom, +5 to will, and very good defensive stats overall. I believe it also protects against lightning and undead.
That sounds correct to me. Stone Dingley following up on his freebies here, going to set up a Sheila 1 check in the Sylph Cave here.
I might have been tempted by a quick Luca check here, honestly. The boss, especially after a grind, the boss doesn't scare you too much, and if it's a whammy and not a wyvern, then you're just resetting out anyway with no time loss. But
yeah,
Sheila 1, check your freebies, do your objectives, it's hard to argue with.
Yeah, setting up the Sheila 1's here good. I'm personally a fan of Luca Cave, and on seeds like this where it's been this rude, yeah, I would maybe go check for some value in Luca Cave, but Stone Dingley going to go do Sheila 1 instead. Can't argue that it is a faster check, I suppose.
Nope. And plus, if your next move is Rat Tail, you might as well, while you're up here, take care of Sheila 1. It's not that far away.
Yep, so we've got that.
Peter's asking, how long do you wait until you check Zot 1? My answer is until I have the Earth Crystal.
Yeah, if the only time I'm really tempted to do the early Zot 1 check is if I haven't found any way underground and it's what's left. Because then you know the seed is just playing games with you.
Yeah, the hook route is just so atrocious that you're like, I will make the run up. Like, we don't have Edward, and it's something like, I don't know, King, Queen, Eblin, or Evil Wall into Odin, or something really horrific. Maybe then I'll do a Zot 1.
Alright, decent shot of this rat tail being forward progress, and there's an adamant. So that is half of an objective right there as well. The pieces are slowly coming together. Castro on his side made short work of
you know what else it is?
It's
also vanilla.
Oh, that didn't even register. That's adamant grotto. You trade the rat tail for some adamant. Yep.
Indeed.
I was like, oh. Even with all the levels Castro had and his 1011 HP Tella still manages to eat dirt to Dark Knight Cecil's Dark Waves. Is this going to be man? Nope, it's the Legend Sword. There's Forge right off the bat.
So that Sheila 1 proving to be a very good call. Let's go see.
Yeah.
Is it the Triton Dagger?
I believe he
has another option.
He has 2. One's a rod and one's a dagger, I believe.
I think the Asura Rod is his other option, but either way, I think he's looking at plus 15 to Wisdom.
Yeah, he's going to get at least the boost of a Stardust Rod, plus possibly something else that he could... something worth casting. I think the dagger casts Flood on use, which isn't great. Unless you want to do an Edge impersonation.
There also might be something worth buying in the shop. That shop, because of how hard it is to get to, can roll some very high tier items.
Yes, I believe the Osir Rod is a white cast, so Alan gets access to Holy, but it's coming off an item rather than his spellcasting stats, so still not great. But you're absolutely correct about the Cocal Shop, and Stone Dingley still has a lot of money. So even after buying 3 Sorcerer Robes, could be more good stuff to pick up here.
Yeah, and as I believe you were saying, Castro makes it underground and is going to try and get caught up with higher levels.
It'll be interesting to see if the extra D-monies pay off in the most of these fights. Most of the fights that Castro has to do for the rest of the seed are just gonna fall over in front of him. Alum didn't get nuke there, but he will get it soon. But that means he has his level 3 elemental spells at the very least. It's the Osir Rod from the
And Cocal seems to have. And Cocal seems to have specialized in the arms slot. There was a white spear, but other than that, we had Crystal Ring, Protect Ring, and Zeus Gauntlets. Good times.
Yeah, I would definitely be tempted to pick up a Zeus Gauntlet for Yang here if you think you're going to hang on to him through the end game. And Crystal Rings for everybody else who can jam one on their finger. Stone Dingley possibly looking for that Lunar Staff, forgetting that he reset out
of it. Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yep, gearing that party up, and I believe he's now going to make that Luca dive that you were mentioning.
Yeah, not a lot of options left. You can run Luca, you can run Keyless Tower, or you can dive to the moon. We've seen two whammies on a main so far, so that should promise at least one moon item.
Yep, and if they wanted to knock out another objective, just to ensure that the 4th one they find is go mode, I believe both our runners probably fully capable of taking out Cape Bahamut at this point.
Yeah, that's definitely doable. Now it's just a matter of find Wyvern or find the Baron Key.
And Castro heading up Dwarf Castle, hoping that he too can find a 5th character. Hope he's looking for a white mage.
So while we've got a moment, just want to thank Randomania, our partner channel, for hosting this for us. It's letting us put on a lot more tournament races. Niabari for handling restreams and rolling up this gem of a seed. And HeartGamer for doing a great job lighting up all the buttons and keeping everything on track. And, of course, to my co-commentator, Stoppable Force. Having a lot of fun here.
Well, thank you, Commander. It's a pleasure to finally get to do comms with you. And here we are in Luca. And it's value.
That is indeed value.
Yeah, you absolutely walk that out.
That is, in fact, go mode.
Yep, Stone Dingley can head up and knock over that Dark Elf now. Here's Valvalis. If you got to find a Valvalis, this is a decent spot for it, I guess.
I'm wincing. I am wincing at the thought of this fight, honestly. I don't know what her evade is like in this spot, but we'll find out soon enough if anyone can cut through this tornado. And if so, how well.
Well, Edward hitting for 107.
Yeah.
It's not going to be him.
Yeah, I wasn't counting on Edward. Those are notoriously inaccurate when you're not named Rosa, and the dodges are an issue. Oh dear. Do the spells land? No, I didn't think they would land here. This seemed like too high-level spot to hit her in Tornado Phone. Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll just go look for that Wyvern. Now, here's the thought. What if that Wyvern is in Baron Castle?
The seed has been playing jokes on us so far, so I won't say it's not happening. It looks like Stone Dingley is just going to move all his DPS gear over to Edward, put Edward in the center slot for that agility boost, and going to rely on the archer here to take down Valvalis. He really wants to walk out that Baron key.
Yeah, that makes sense. You give it a shot. You don't give up on this until you have to, because, you know, if it's possible this is a hard required Val, and you don't necessarily want to go searching for Wyvern. Sure, maybe Wyvern's just hanging out on the altar, but maybe there's a long chain that leads to Wyvern at Zot2 or Wyvern in Package or something really gross.
Yeah, the only real downside here is that Palom isn't really going to be able to contribute to this fight, because there's no way he can hit a spinning Valvalis here.
No, not at all. This is a very fast spot, and Palom's the anchor. There's no way you're getting this spot down to Palom's speed. No time to even, like, land a cheeky virus for some tick damage or something. Palom can be a chemist.
Yeah, Palom is here for moral support and potions.
Oh, this is just... You know, I have a feeling in about 5 minutes, this Val is still going to be on the Stone Dingley screen, and I'm going to be going, oh, this is such a gross fight. Oh.
Yeah,
I need Fear and Burgundy is a disgusting command.
Let's just hope that Edward's center slot accuracy is 537 damage with an accuracy boost.
Yeah, just got to keep him standing now. Blink him, heal him, keep him going. And wait it out. Edward saving the day against Valvalis.
Yeah. How often do you get to see that?
That's about as good a summary of this seed as I could give you.
Poor I'm knocking herself over.
Slingshotting later off of something for more XP?
Yeah, possibly moon spots. Yeah, this is going to take a while, because this Val has 19,000 hit points here. I believe between Young and Edward, they're taking off about 1,000 every time they hit.
Yes, you're right.
a little more of Young high rolls. I think I saw a 770 roll in there somewhere.
But oh my goodness.
Castro uses the inn in Tomra. I didn't remember Tomra had an inn.
I didn't either. Must be that building off to the right. I didn't see Castro walk in.
Yeah, it doesn't have any loot or job dwarves in it. I'm not interested. Castro decided to go ahead and take that Luca dive right away, and is going to be rewarded for making this move.
Well, technically you're correct, but with rewards like this, who needs punishments?
Yeah, I guess I should use the term reward here loosely. There is a Baron key, and it's a reward, but you have to get it out. You will find what you seek, but it will come with a heavy price. Stone Dingley is persevering here, though. Everybody's getting blinked up, so Val can't knock him over, even though she's not punching for much here. It's enough if she casts a beat. Get the stones cleared off. I imagine the fact that this is go mode, if he can get through it, is definitely motivation here for Stone Dingley.
Yes. Which will make it be interesting to see if when Castro sees the Val. Castro's higher level, especially if he's gotten Palom up to nuke. There are some spots, and I don't have the chart, this might be one of them, where the only thing you can touch Val with in Whirlwind is a nuke.
Unfortunately, it is not. Her magic defense in this spot is perfect.
And Palom is level 51 anyway, has not yet learned to nuke.
So close.
So it'll just be a case of Yeah, with his higher levels and stats, he'll have more attack multipliers on Yang and Edward, and so might be able to get through this faster. But with it not being his go mode, at least as far as he's aware, I'll be curious to see if he opts to go for the fight or let it be.
Didn't reset out immediately, so it looks like Castro is going to take a swing at it and test her defenses here.
Yep. Immediately arming Edward with bow and arrow.
Oh, and Stone Dingley has slogged through Valvalis and gets to take the Baron Key with him. Congratulations, Stone Dingley.
Very well done. Obvious. Surely the seed doesn't have anything left for you, right? I mean, that should do it. Unlock the sewer, go up to Cave Bahamut, deal with the Dark Elf, and then take all your frustrations out on Z.
Yep, maybe you maybe stop to take the Ribbon Room. Maybe that's a good, decent spot to slingshot Palom off of, or Porum, excuse me.
Yeah, she'll get something from the Cave Bahamut fight. He might take the Behemoths as well. We'll see.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if you could somehow rummage up one more key item before getting up there. He's currently sitting at 9 key items.
Well, Crystal will make 10, which won't help him for Behemoths, so maybe he takes the Behemoths after the Dark Elf fight.
That is certainly a possibility. Castro's Edward goes face down, but it looks like he's relying on Yang to punch his way through Valvalis here. Stone Dingley opens the sewers and then says, "See ya."
We got nothing more to do here.
All he had to do, they can liberate their own town. He's got places to be, and they're the moon. Castro has to reset out of the Val fight. Knocks his battle speed down. Gonna take a second swing at it more prepared. We'll probably get through it this time.
Yeah, I might switch up the party order a little bit. We'll see. Definitely a case of all hands on deck, looking for anything he can eke out in terms of gear to just keep people standing a little longer to take punches or deal a little more damage.
Yeah, we saw that on the Stone Dingley side too, even going so far as moving Young's black belt over to Edward, giving Edward already had a crystal ring, but digging the samurai arrows out. Wake and Smoke, do we know who the boss is in Cave Bahamut? Yes, it is the Dark Elf. So our runners only really have to get through the first half of the fight, and then they can toss a weak on this guy and finish him off. And no, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, thought something and then checked myself and went, you know what? Never mind. Carry on.
Luckily, the magic here, not great.
No. I kind of wanted to make you work for it, I feel like, in vanilla. They made the magic good enough that Mega Nuke's going to roast you, but when you reflect it back, unless you've got a heavy wall on, you're not going to get the full 9s, so...
Yeah, they wanted you to...
Also, just in general. Yeah, also just in general, Dark Elf's spell sequence of the elementals just doesn't do much to a high-level party.
It's a lot more intimidating looking than it is anything else. Yang gets turned into a pig. Not really affecting anything here.
That's fine. No, it's not fine if you want to berserk him, but it doesn't do much. I don't think he can power as a pig.
Yeah, I don't think he can either. Although I don't think Dingley probably was looking to berserk him there and had to settle for making him not be a pig.
Probably.
That berserked Edward in the center slot, still carrying his weight. Reliably hitting for about 1200 and moving pretty fast too.
Yeah, Edward has solid agility. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. RA2?
Quite possibly. Alright, we got our Dark Elf in phase 2. So now we can land a weak on him, knocking him down to single-digit hit points, assuming Edward just doesn't turn him into a pincushion first. And that'll be the end of this Cave Bahamut.
Castro up against the ropes against this Val.
Takes another
Yep,
wipe.
and there it goes. It's a tough fight.
Yeah,
it's a tough fight.
It's a tough spot for Val with this party, especially with this much power concentrated into Palom, largely, and then suddenly having to rely on Yang and Edward to get through. Stone Dingley now has his crystal, having lit up 4 of his 5 objectives, and is technically in go mode. Well, I imagine he'll want to do something with that Porum first. Not going to be behemoths. He is warping out of, well, unless he wants to rest up first. Has warped out of Cave Bahamut. Might just be
I want to rest and or save. Yeah, could go over to the ribbon room. Got options.
Yeah, as long as the...
Be interested to see what a Stone Dingley feels is the best choice. Sorry.
He is going to the Giant of Babel. He might be intending to slingshot Porum off of Antland.
Or a second D money?
Oh,
10 key items with slingshot. You should only need 6 D monies to bring her to white.
That's true. He could do 60 monies. That would be just fine. It would probably end up still being quicker than killing the Antlanded elements.
It just might be.
Also, I don't think his Palom knows nuke, so it's entirely possible that he's also looking to get his get his Palom the rest of the way to nuke, and then his Porum to wherever she ends up with this giant XP bonus she has waiting. Mr. Bus Driver, the Elements boss is Antland.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing I'm thinking with leveling Porum isn't so much trying to teach her white, but more that that's the point where her hit point pool actually starts to become viable for unnerfed Big Bangs.
Yeah, her HP growth not the greatest, so I could see wanting to just get her to survivability levels here. Yep, we are getting a second D machine grind. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like
this seed, Miyavari, congratulations.
if you liked first D machine grind, I hope you're ready for second D machine grind.
Oh my goodness. We don't even have first Cecil, much less second Cecil. And sheep launcher pointing out. Yeah.
Tella's not in the middle. This could be a little questionable.
Yeah, granted, it's a high level Tella. So, but still, that weak, if it misses and you've queued up an attack and that D machine counter punches, and
of course, at this point,
Gear War.
Yeah, the kid knows. The kid knows weak. So.
True, and the kid probably doesn't need to be center slotted to make it land.
Ooh, so Dingley accidentally finding the horseman alerts.
Oh no, it's the horseman! No! You can't
That's
run from the
not
spell menu, and then the spell menu, Dingley. Gotta get out of that. There you go.
Whew, okay.
This apparently isn't a fight. Stone Dingley might have had one of those weird one and spaces.
Yeah, I gotta. And when it comes up with the beamers, you gotta at least check. All right, Castro having some. I just saw that Yang land a 1400 punch on Valvalis. That's what you like to see. Hopefully, he's got this fight a little more in hand now. Would really like to see Castro get through this Valvalis with his Baron key in hand and go on to light up that Baron objective.
Yang does have a lot of fights in hand.
Oh, thank you for catching that. I was worried it was just going to slide on by everybody.
Nah.
Alright, Stone Dingley's found the fight he wants this time. Started taking out his D machines. I believe this will be 2. I wasn't counting once again, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I think if Castro gets through on this fight, we could still be close. Stone Dingley's still in the lead, I think, but Castro doesn't need to do any more grinding. Other than the same issue of, figure out something for Palom. Okay, so fair.
Yep, and Castro appears to just be going with let Porum get XP. His has been up and casting some spells the whole time. Really just kind of letting her... I guess she's still getting a slingshot, because she's probably still below the median level.
Yeah, she'll get a slingshot until on Castro's side until the 40s, the mid 40s, I would think.
Yeah, interesting side effect here. Heartgamer pointing
You're absolutely
out.
right. Good.
Heartgamer pointing out the D machines are punching for only 1 with that counterattack. Those crystal rings from the Capole shop really paying off here.
Yep. Resist dragons, back row, parrying, just the solid defense that a crystal ring brings. Yeah. Thanks for the cure. I'm out of here.
Poor Edward. Well, now we need someone to attack after this week goes off.
If this week goes off.
Meanwhile, more interesting matters. Castro is free. He has gotten through his Valvalis and is walking that Baron key out. Congratulations, Castro. So that'll be another objective, and
especially with Dingley struggling with.
Yeah, and if
carry on.
I was gonna say if Castro follows through on his freebies, he'll have Forge very soon too. So he'll be catching up during the second grind.
When D money goes wrong could be the subtitle of this tournament, I think. This is the first tournament we've used the Sea Hero flag, and it's just showing how not having your agility perfectly set up can make some things that maybe used to be automatic a lot more interesting.
Yeah, there were a lot of D-Money grinds during ZZ3, but a lot of those were with, we had a level 1 Tela in the center slot, or level 20 Tela, excuse me, in the center slot doing the agility anchoring, giving you nice, smooth turn rotations, nobody jumping, the D-Machines probably being slow, at least a predictable speed. But now we're dealing with our runners are in what we'll call interesting agility situations a lot of the time.
And that also shows in the Z fight a lot of times. Having that slightly off-kilter setup makes a Stone Dingley reset. Did he not bring a character up after landing that virus? Porum's still down. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
He knew it as soon, like he reset as soon as the damage number was on. He probably looked over right then and realized, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, would have been reasonably okay leaving that Yang on the ground. Obviously, you'd want more, but the whole point here is to not have this level 1 Porum anymore.
Yeah, Yang is definitely Z ready. He's fine. Again, it's not quite the damage output you want from him. You'd like more, but you'll take what you can get.
Yeah,
but you gotta have your healer surviving those big mags.
Just as importantly, though, this is just more time for Castro to catch up.
And just like, I mean, and we said at the beginning, and I just want to reiterate how good both of these runners are, having made it through to the round of 16, gone through some rough races along the way. But a seed like this, where it's just fight after fight that you really have to test your skills to get through, it will mentally wear on you even under normal conditions, much less a tournament like this.
Absolutely true, and especially with a seed like this where our runners have just had, I don't want to say setbacks, but there have been some setbacks. The hook roots, the early grinds.
Been a root seed.
Yeah. Both our runners here probably sweating, assuming their opponent is gonna put that dot done in the race room at any time.
Yeah, why isn't my opponent done? Why isn't my opponent? Well, because the seed's been just as rude to your opponent as it has been to you.
Yep, because if you stop and think, they have also had to play this seed. Castro diving into Baron, gonna attempt to clear it.
Yeah, chat made the call. If Wyvern's in here, great.
Yep, the great news is he knows the first boss he has to fight is free, so and he'll be through very quickly. The King Queen Evelyn in the Wyvern spot. So that frees him up to look for a Wyvern in the Odin spot, which he may be planning to check first if he's taking a safety save here. Or on the throne of Baron. We got 2 chairs to check for a dragon.
Yes. And I blame myself. I forgot one of the things I like to say all the time is that you never count a seed out until you have Crystal in hand and your Z access and you're at Z levels for your party. Don't count it out until then. It might still have something in store for you.
Yep, Castro was responsible for busting a lot of people's brackets, so I fully believe that a comeback is more than possible in this seed. It's not over till Zoromus crumbles.
Yep. And sometimes, not even then.
Yeah, sometimes.
Tie.
Sometimes your opponent does it at the same time, and then we have to go to admin review.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Scala. Oh, it's D-Mist. Hi, D-Mist.
All right. Alrighty,
and
so
Steel pointing out, yeah, even when you're at Z levels, you can't take Zoromus for granted.
Nope. The other another thing you pointed out the Sea Hero flag earlier for these grinds. Sea Hero sometimes causes our runners to have to take on Zoromus in less than the comfortable agility levels they may be used to. And obviously our round of 16 runners are used to doing it, but sometimes Z fights can go sideways pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And there's a better white mage.
Oh, this seed. Oh, this seed. And with only 29 levels on Porum, you're thinking about it, and you're making the switch.
Yep. Castro drops more and picks up Rosa. Figures she's still going to get that slingshot. She'll get the, if this rewards a key item, he'll still have his key item bonus before he gets the crystal. And yeah, figures in the time he's got left, he can get this Rosa to survivable levels faster than Borum.
Yeah, because honestly, yeah. Rosa learns to Cure 4 quicker and has a much better HP, bro. You'd probably get her ready in about the same amount of XP, maybe even less than it would take to get Porum ready, even from where she is now.
Yep, just a black shirt here in the basement of Baron, but you got a Rosa. It's not a complete song. And Castro can now go back in and check the Odin throne if he wants to. Looks like he's just going to take off. And a question from Chad D. Schmidt, where was Legend? Sheila 1 has the Legend Sword, and the Adamant Rock is vanilla. Our runners have had the hook since the beginning, and the Rat Tail was in its vanilla location, so Castro doesn't know it yet, but he has. He's sitting on Forge. Assuming he went and set up Sheila 1, which I confess I don't remember if he did or not.
Yes, Shmoo. Castro has faded Sheila 1. Castro got the Baron key and chose to pursue it, and might chase this tower key on the theory of I dove Baron, I'm going to see it through to completion. But yeah, Sheila 1 is all Castro needs. He just doesn't know it.
Dingley is now done grinding and is probably headed right back to the moon. Yeah, the tower key probably has to be a rabbit hole at this point, because I think, yeah, all of our objectives that require a key item are, the locations are known. The only thing unknown at this point is Wyvern. If Wyvern is in the tower key, then that's the way. That's really the only way it pays off for Castro.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a lunar sparkle on the Baron throne. Ogo Pogo. I think I would probably
not
leave
the
this Ogo
Wyvern
Pogo here.
Castro is looking for. And yeah, you can get on out, Castro. K-Summon is not on. There's no love for you there.
You just leave that nope rope in the basement where he belongs. And you skedaddle on out.
And yep, Castro's being pulled away from the Sheila 1 with that tower key. Again, perfectly understandable.
Yeah, you got to follow the ones you have, but I possibly hoping to fade Sheila until we can find the pan. Maybe hope to turn up the pan by now, or, as happens so often in a high pressure race, may have just forgotten about Sheila.
Yeah. It's happened to me. It's happened to better runners than me.
It's even happened to me. Yeah, tower key with pass and Wyvern is kind of what we're all hoping for here to put Castro in the Z fight alongside Stone Dingley, and I won't say the T word again, but let's say a close finish. Unfortunately, this is
Bygone is not Wyvern.
He's kind of gross and lizardy looking, but he's not a dragon.
You want the chain to end. You want the chain to end. Like, Pass would be beautiful, not just for not having to go back up to the moon other than K value, but to end the chain and get Castro back to Sheila 1. Something like an Earth Crystal would be like, oh no, not like this.
Yeah, Earth Crystal here just means the rabbit hole goes deeper, and I don't think Castro definitely doesn't need character checks at this point. Stone Dingley setting up for his Z fight over here on the other side, it looks like.
Dialing it down to battle speed 4, as one often does on Sea Hero with an uncertain agility situation. I haven't gotten a look. I don't know if he's got enough gear to get Palom up to 28 agility and put Zoromus at RA2.
Might be able to with the crystal rings he picked up earlier. But I have actually not even seen him check. Stone Dingley may just be flying in this one by the seat of his pants. And Looks like we got a lot of got a lot of these Z flags in chat.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. You know what that's about?
I think our viewers are just telling us that it's late and they're ready to go to sleep. Come on, we've only been here for an hour 30.
There are more races.
Yes, there are more
go
races.
sleep. There are more races.
There's always more races.
Oh, right. No. Yeah. We're fighting Zoromus.
Right, yeah.
This will always be vanilla. We don't move Zoromus. That would just be crazy. Instead, what we do is randomize the sprite that Zoromus transforms into. We are well over 500 sprites, most of which have been put in by our wonderful art Scala Kitty. And that means that there's a question that they would like asked, isn't there?
Yep, I believe what the people want to hear is, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Yes, indeed. At the rate this is going, I fully expect the vanilla Z sprite, just the way the seed has been.
Oh,
the final troll.
Maybe it can be that one of Zoromus hanging out in a bowl of vanilla ice cream. I love that one.
Ooh, yeah, that would work too. Yeah, Vanillamus. Yeah,
that would just that or Sumo
would
Res
be.
would just be just the cherry on top of this vanilla ice cream sundae.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, no, instead we get Michael Jordan.
Zoromus is about to dunk on this party. And Scala letting us know that this was Alicel's sprite.
Alrighty, but is this party ready to jam against Michael Jordan? Throw in that silk web that he found earlier, stumbling this slowing Jordan down.
Edward's apparently ready to throw down, sends a punch to Jordan. So Jordan says, "No, you can have a nuke." That was cute. And he took that crystal personally. Yes.
The good news is Castro's rabbit hole has ended. The tower key rewarding just a standard beam. Alcel has arrived to see Michael Jordan sprite. Love it. Scala, I say this every time we see
According to Sheep Launcher,
Scala is truly out on herself
when we
again.
shift to phase 2, that's when the sprite starts playing baseball.
Is there a brief phase where it plays golf?
Maybe that's the Medio phase.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Lord Goober, I don't know the name. I don't know what the name is of the guy that's on first, Lord Goober.
That's what he's telling you. Who's on first?
I don't know.
No, I don't know who's on third.
Look, are you the manager of this team?
We're gonna get newspapered if we keep this up.
So, when you write out the check to pay your first baseman at the end of the week, and you write out the check, you write out to who?
Yeah, exactly.
In the meantime,
In the meantime, for fans of grind,
Castro.
over to Troya to do some shopping.
Castro popped his starting sirens to get a little XP on that Rosa. She's level 37, I believe. On Stone Dingley's side, reflecting spells at Michael Jordanless with everyone he can, even Tella chipping in with a reflected virus here. For like 900 damage, but it's trying.
Take it. Edward going for a nerf and even gets the counter nuke to bounce off the wall. Well done.
You love it when a plan comes together.
You do. Even a nerfed Big Bang is enough to put Tella on the ground because, yeah, HP growth, not exactly a thing.
Ooh, and then the counter nuke knocks over Porum, and then a black hole turns off any veils we had up. So, if anything's going to go sideways, this is where it's going to happen. Stone Dingley picking up Tella. That's not what I expect. Oh, picking up everyone. Okay.
Yep, get in whatever actions you can, because you need to get some heals in before the next Big Bang, even if you do intend to nerf it, because someone's going to eat that counter nuke, and yeah. Or why heal? We're just going to quickly push the damage through and hope we're there.
Healing is for people who aren't tossing out casual quad 9s with their Palom, I guess. And that's Zoromus going down.
Good call on Stone Dingley's part. Counting damage. No, just needed one more shot and made it happen. GG's. And in fact, I believe we've been joined by a Stone Dingley here. Congratulations on surviving and also winning this extremely rude seed.
It was a little rude, wasn't it?
There.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we got you.
Yes, you're in now.
It was rude and weirdly vanilla in a lot of places.
I think I was less focused on the vanilla than I was on that, hey, everybody, let's do a 4-person D-money grind right away that was just eating at the back of my head the whole seed.
It's definitely a sign that something has gone horribly wrong when this is what both runners resort to.
I'm not one of those people that usually minds watching the D Machine grind, but 3 times in one seed is just way too much.
Oh man.
Yeah, if there's anybody out there in our community who secretly loves the D Machine grind, this was the seed for them. Between the multiple D Machine grinds and how many times the D Machine grinds went sideways, both for you and your opponent.
Oh, when I saw that HP run out on that D Machine, oh my gosh, I had choice 4-letter words for it.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, okay. That's what happened. We saw the virus hit on the last one. So, but I missed the lead up. So is that what happened? You had an HP run out, and so the virus that was queued to kill the D Machine instead got the searcher, and Porum was still down.
Bingo.
Go. That you know what? That is about one of the rudest things I've seen happen in a D Machine fight, and it would naturally happen in this seed. Oh. Because, yeah, just so many times the seed said, you thought I was done with you? No, I got one more for you. I got one more. We're not done yet.
I was certainly hoping that I could get away with not doing it as long as possible. You even saw me go down and peek Queen King Evelyn, just really hoping that there's something I could just squeak
Yeah.
through and search for another character. But Karate was not that boss. Not at that spot.
No, it's a very punchy spot, and it's going to be rude, without a doubt. But you got underground, you ran through a dwarf, you got that vanilla Luca key. Were you at all tempted by a quick Luca check, just to see what the item was, or was the lure of the check your freebie at Sheila 1 too strong?
Oh, I'm definitely checking that freebie. The Fey March, then the Sheila one, because I was desperate for an Earth Crystal or a Sand Ruby. I would have taken a package with, at that point, anything behind it. Anything.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Well,
the
not that you
seed
needed it by then. Go ahead.
the seed decided to play more jokes, put at least a package on the moon, and I think we can assume probably the Earth Crystal as well.
Yeah.
Well, how did you guys like that Valvalis down in the sealed cave?
I saw it come up and I immediately winced, and I'm just like, oh no, oh no. Like, unless I'm wrong and you can hit this with magic, because I'm looking at Yang, I'm looking at Edward, particularly at year levels, and I'm like, where are the multipliers? I'm not seeing multipliers here. Sure enough. And just, oh no, oh no. But you knew it was go mode, so you kind of feel like you have to. Like, you don't know where Wyvern is. Wyvern could be in Baron Castle, and even if not, do you really want to go search for Wyvern when all you have to do is get through this one stupid rude fight?
Exactly. And I managed to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because once I got everyone zerked up and blinked, it gave me plenty of time to put the controller down, go take a bio break, grab a drink, and come back and still be just plinking away.
Yeah, maybe stretch your legs and let some of the adrenaline run out. We commented at several points that we figured either you or your opponent probably felt at any given point that you were just waiting on that dot done.
Oh, yes. So much so.
So I guess the only consolation is your opponent also has to play this seed.
Oh, I feel for him.
Yeah, but I mean, you get that feeling as a runner that, like, sure, it's rude, but my opponent probably found a way. Like, from Castro's side, he's looking at you like you were the 6 in the qualifiers, and you're looking at him like, he's the bracket buster. So I'm sure both of you probably had better expectations of your opponent's performance than what actually manifested in reality.
From about committed to the grind. What if he did 22 D machines and is just blowing the seed away at this point while I am struggling? I was thinking the whole time, and I'm honestly probably looking back may have been the right move.
He did grind Palom up to about 50 when he ran out of ethers and MPs and started working through the seed after that. But that Val still gave him a rough time. But ultimately, the Baron Key pulled him away from checking Sheila 1, is what it was. He followed that chain and then went to the moon.
So I just got really lucky. Oh. Well,
I mean, I wouldn't say you just got lucky. I mean, following your principles is not luck. Check your freebies.
Checking your freebies was just turned out to be the more appropriate routing in the seed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to get rabbit, put an extra, couple pets, just because it's been so good to me.
Makes absolute sense. Well, I think that's all the commentary or questions I had. How about you, Commander?
Obviously, you feel better to be 1-0 than 0-1. I don't expect you're going to change. If you haven't changed anything up, I certainly don't expect you to change it now. So let us know when is match 2. When are you and Castro facing off again?
Our next match is same time on Thursday, so 8 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully, it's not quite this bad again.
Well, you can hope. And so, yeah, everyone, 8 p.m. If it's not being restreamed on Free Enterprise or a partner channel, then you can catch it on a Khadgar link. Congratulations once again on getting through. GG's.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you to the Restream team, and GG's.
And that was our winner, Stone Dingley. Go give our runners a follow if you haven't already. They've put on quite a show, and you'll see more from them if you do.
Yeah, while we were talking and doing the interview, Castro is slowly but surely clearing out the moon. Has come across the package and the pan. I think somebody said the Earth crystal was in the ribbon room. So
The pan is. Oh yes, the Earth crystal's in the ribbon room. Yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
So just making his way through all these. Got to be wondering where Wyvern is at this point.
Yeah, and I think chat's right. I think Castro's just forgotten Sheila One. Which, again, mental fatigue tournament state. This rude seed. I wouldn't be sure what my name was at this point. Also, kudos to Castro for seeing it through, because if Castro's keeping an eye on the race room, then Castro saw the done.
Yeah, well,
has already seen it and is still like, no, I will beat this seed.
And Niabari was saying beforehand that he was due to roll a very rude seed, and mission accomplished. The good news is, with Castro having run across the pan, that will probably be the impetus to lead him back towards Sheila One and get back on track with the Legend Sword.
And the other good news is that since I'm here doing comms on this seed, no one's going to try and send it to me.
It's true, we've been spoiled. Oh,
Although someone might prove me wrong just looking at the seed and going, you know what? I don't care if you routers relish it. It's still gonna... Because, I mean, what's routers relish gonna do for you on this one? It's gonna just tell you how much trouble you're in from the get-go instead of discovering it 40 minutes in.
Yeah, the only thing it's going to tell you is if maybe Vanilla or Zot 1 Wyvern. That's the only real... I think that would be the advantage you might get out of a spoiler log.
Yeah, if Wyvern's somewhere nice and you don't actually have to deal with that hecking Val. But honestly, knowing that Rose is in Baron, it's like,
Baron seems pretty good. There's a pink tail.
I mean... Castro makes it through. Mylon and friends gets the pink tail. Still working.
Yeah, not honestly sure how much more moon Castro has to clear at this point. Since we're getting a warp and not an exit, I'm guessing we still have the Crystal Sword altar left. Possibly went bottom up. So.
Castro, I believe, did do Murasame, if I was getting it right during the interview. I believe a Zeus Gauntlet was found there.
You are correct. That is true. I remember seeing those gauntlets now. So this is his last remaining moon spot. Do we have a Vanilla Wyvern just to top everything well off?
I mean, the way this seed is gone, there are like a couple of real possibilities. Like, if it's the vanilla theme, sure. But if we're on the theme of this seed is still being super trolly, then clearly Wyvern is at the CPU spot behind that antline.
Or in the package behind, say, a third Tella.
My package isn't even that trolly. We've got a package. We're boss hunting. We'll take it.
Yeah.
But the one spot that, even if you know it's there, is like, well... Oh, hey, it's our last tree boss. Stabbies!
And they just proceed to clean Palom's clock. Yeesh.
Because, once again, a spot that never punches is punchy. And the thing about these free Dark Imps is they have 3 daggers to go stab you with.
Yeah, the when coding some of these bosses that never use magic, they just set them to 255 physical attack, the max they could do, because why not, right? So CPU and Leviathan and this spot, all very
Some sort of punishment in case you... Yeah, some sort of punishment in case you somehow, some way get Berserk to land on the boss. I don't know.
I'm just imagining a Berserk CPU now, just angry orb.
It just kind of keeps rolling over you. It's very Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
All right, Castro resets, hoping for slightly better luck with the Dark Hips this time.
CPU roll out, it's super effective. Very nice, Awakened Smoke. Very nice.
It didn't even need to use Defense Curl first to power it up because it has the Defender right there.
Right, exactly. Ensign level, Stone works if it hits, but Stone has some accuracy issues when not being cast from the center slot. Even from the center slot, it's a little rough.
See a bear on Yang. Don't get to see that very often, and the Dark Imp's just a bear.
No. I suspect a missed menu from a power.
This is the correct option. Castro's decided this altar, not worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Fun fact, bear will reflect off a wall. And I bared Zoromus once that way.
Why can that be reflecting?
I don't know, but Yang was my wall target to bounce spells off of, and I mismenued my power.
This game sometimes.
FF4 life.
You just have to have an appreciation sometimes for how a randomizer hack just exposes all these fun little situations that would never come up in the vanilla game. Like, I still think the interaction between Cry and Steel is my favorite. It makes perfect sense. It makes absolute perfect sense, but it could never happen in the vanilla game. So, it's just one of those fun interactions you get in the randomizer. So.
Well, you're on a tight schedule and you're trying to jam as much information into this limited memory cartridge as possible, and a few wires get crossed. Castro on the right track now. Heading down with the pan bonk. Gonna head up to Sheila. Get the news that it was Sheila 1 all along. You told him, you size him. You push him in the river. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Flashback.
What? Gets an even nicer white magic stick for that Rosa.
Yeah. Same plus 10. More bonky power.
Fun for bonking mages with. Love to early game takeouts of the Maga Sisters with a silent staff if you can find it, are just extremely satisfying.
Yeah, also those pesky Baron Guards on ordeals. You bonk him, it's not enough to kill him, but oh wait, you landed the silence proc. That's fine.
There we go. So Castro heading up to talk to Sheila. We can see what Sheila 1 and 2 are, probably. This is going to be a feel bad moment right here.
Yeah. If
at least
I was at this exact spot, I would have a few things going through my head that would not be repeatable on the air.
At least Castro doesn't have to go back to the moon, because Sheila 2 rewarded the pass.
Small favors, you take it.
So that wyvern really is hiding somewhere trolly today, and Castro no longer has to care about it.
Literally, So let's figure it out. The worst case, CPU, could also be package, could be either Zot.
Oh,
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
All but 4 boss checks. And,
Did anybody keep top of tower? I did not actually see that.
I assume so, because they cleared tower for the tower key. Mom Bomb, thank you, Heart Gamer.
Okay. Yep.
Tracker
so,
coming through.
CPU or package or Zot?
Just... We've said it many times, but it bears repeating. Neobari, wow.
Yeah, you rolled a good one here. They definitely got their money's worth here as far as time to completion ratio.
Oof. Yeah. And yeah, you got it, Castro. And again, props. Looking forward to you hopping in the booth just so I can tell you, well done getting through this and keeping your chin up and playing through.
Yeah, the perseverance on display here is fantastic. Castro decided to sell some of the stuff that he's picked up along the way to avail himself of Kokol's extremely hand-focused shop. I think you can probably sell the Rune Axe. I don't think we have a rune. I don't think we have an axe wielder in this seat.
No, you don't, but you got to hand it to that dwarf. He's a very good smith.
Carefully and delicately forging crystal rings and also Zeus gauntlets.
Indeed. Onward with the pass. Onward to fight Michael Jordan.
Castro getting to take a nice shortcut here. Since he can just take the pass door to Zoromus. Bob got a crystal ring there. His Palom is at 30 agility. Good enough.
Yep, 30 agility will get you to RA2. 28 is the minimum number. And if you're going to have your anchor slowing down the rest of your party, might as well slow Zoromus down a little bit while you're at it. You drop that Silk Web on him, he'll go from 2 to 4.
Yep, and at this point with the... Castro still has, I think, probably still has a level advantage just from the length of that first grind and the XP he's accumulated on this Rosa and everybody else from clearing the moon. So, hoping that he'll have a decent time in this fight. After the wipes against the D Machine and the wipes against Valvalis, Castro honestly deserves a nice smooth Z fight.
Absolutely. They both deserve about a week off, honestly. But as we've already learned, they'll be right back at it Thursday.
Yep. Fortunately, time marches on. So, be sure to watch the Discord. We know the time and we know the runners. And the place will be announced probably Wednesday evening. I believe that's when these times are usually announced.
Yes.
I'm very interested to see this one. I'm kind of rooting for Castro as the underdog here, even though he did completely destroy any chance I had in a bracketology this year.
I took Plan Z for bracketology and didn't fill one out.
It's kind of the only way
Can't
to
bust
win.
my bracket.
The only way to win is not to play. or not to lose is not to play. I don't know. I'll watch
How
more games
about
once.
a nice game of chess? I got you. I'm here for you. Oh, 1 star veil.
That explains why I saw Dingley casting wall the second time around. I just assumed it was because it was faster, but it turns out it's because it was necessary.
Yeah, without J items on, you know, you're limited for your star veils to get a couple or maybe 3 in the starter kit, and any you might find in a chest along the way.
Yeah, usually on most of the seeds that I've played of this, I've at least turned up another one in a chest somewhere. But our runners, they started with 1 star veil, and they're finishing with 1 star veil. They're using it here to finish off Zoromus.
Steel G in chat has an interesting basketball interpretation on this team here. Got Yang as a center, yeah, absolutely. Got Rosa as a point guard and Hallam as a shooting guard, sure. But who are our other big men, so to speak? Like Edward as a small forward and Tella as a power forward?
I don't know if I would consider Tella a power or anything, really.
Right? But I mean, this is definitely some sort of alternate basketball team that plays a very interesting, like, why would we go into the paint with you? We're just going to live on the perimeter.
Yeah, this team does not get. They have no up close game.
No, not really. You got one big man in the middle, and that's literally it.
You used to start to make sure Palom can lob threes all day.
Yes. From downtown, he's on fire. Fire 3, in fact.
Palom has hacked NBA Jam to allow him to turn the ball into a nuke.
I mean, considering what Zoromus is doing to the ball, it seems only fair.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions now about what was happening in Michael Jordan in Chaos in the Windy City. Why is this basketball on fire?
Chat has said something about a chaos dunk, so that's my only clue for you.
See, though, that would be Barkley.
That's true.
I remember in Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam, Jordan was a cop.
Today I learned. Today I learned.
Yeah, part of the association that ensured that the outlawed sport of basketball was never played to prevent another chaos dunk from occurring.
There's apparently a whole multi-game universe going on here that I was unaware of the existence of.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get you hooked up with Barkley's. It's a freeware game from a while ago on the internet. It's got an interesting interpretation of basketball in the future.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Shake, 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 Zoromus. But first, Powell mounts his nuke.
These big bangs are coming out fast. I believe Castro's still playing on BS1. So these are very fast.
Might be. Might be.
Of course, with his HP totals, he may not really feel the need to worry about it. Look at that Yang.
Yeah, that'd be some crazy... Like, you literally cannot drop Rosa with an 8-roll big... Well, you might be able to, depending on how much she's ticked down. But if she's at max, you can't drop her with an 8-roll, even if she fails all her dodges.
Yeah, it looks like Rosa can take down Jordan with a reflected white. GG
There it
to
is.
Castro.
Yep. And we're joined by Castro. Congratulations on persevering through this incredibly rude seed.
Thank you. GG's. That was an experience for sure.
No doubt. So, you committed to the 4-man degrind a little earlier than your opponent did, which definitely proved to be necessary. But you hadn't even looked at the king queen. Did you just like look at your party and was like, you know, there's just too many things at this spot that are rude. I'm not even going to risk it.
Yeah, I think I had decided just before going to check the lunar dais, which unfortunately was an Eddie, that I was going to commit to that, just to try to just crush anything that would be there at the king and queen spot. Yeah, and when I got to it, it felt pretty good to be like, all right, that was kind of rude, and it still tried to beat me up a little bit, but you know. Yeah, by that point, I was already kind of feeling behind anyway, though, because my D-Machine grind wasn't all that amazing. It was pretty bad. But, you know, I was just trying to, you know, ride the levels that I had and try to go as fast as I can. And, you know, it was feeling okay. Even when I got to Val, which was quite awful, I was like, I know I can... Well, one, I have to do this. Or I felt like I had to do it because the Baron Key was sitting right there, and I was like, well, I'm sure a Stone Dingley did this, but wouldn't that be grand if he didn't? And it just so happens that everything is behind it, so I bashed my head against the wall on that until finally I figured out where to put everybody for speed and things like that, and lo and behold, we got faked out by Ogopogo, which I was about ready to get real excited, and then, well, that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was a slog. I think, you know, towards the end, I definitely was.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling not as an excuse, but I was feeling pretty tired by the end. I was drained mentally, and I was like, oh my gosh, please let this end. So. You know...
It's not an excuse, man. It's just a fact of life.
Yeah. Doing anything for two straight hours.
Even in a casual setting, like... Yeah. Like, even in a casual setting, this seed, if it didn't have me tilted, which it might, it would definitely still have me burned out, and like, yeah, I'm just missing things now. It's like, oh, jeez. Not to mention, like, as part of a round of 16. Like, oof. Big oof.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens, and you know, I was due for just a really, really rude seed. You know, we all get to that point where we're like, all right, when's the rude one coming? And today was it. So you know, it's fine though. You know, I was determined to not forfeit, and I was gonna finish it. Whether y'all had to end stream before I was done or not, it had felt like that kind of race. Unfortunately, when I did finally, I don't keep track of the race channel until I'm close to done. And this time, I made the exception to look at it. I think when I decided to reset at a Kainatsu, or whatever time it was, like Stone Dingley had just finished, I was like, all right, I'm not too far behind, so I felt okay then. But you know. It is what it is. GG's to him. He did a great job getting through that. And I just, you know, while I'm yammering, I would just want to thank everybody, the Restream team, Commander Leonhardt, and Stoppable Force for commentating, Neobari for rolling that lovely seed, and HardGamer86 for the tracking. So really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for putting on the show and for persevering. It was
absolutely.
It was an amazing seed to get through, and this was just a good show of the kind of skill it takes, even with this kind of mental and probably at this point physical fatigue, to get in the top 16 here and destroy everyone's brackets in the process. So, is there anything you're thinking of changing for your approach for game 2 coming up on Thursday?
Well, I think I'm gonna just I need to keep in mind that if a D machine grind starts going south to not run buffer, I don't know why I did that. I haven't done that in like
That's
years,
what
but I did it
exactly
and I
what I
ran
thought
away.
it was. Yes.
And I just thought, I cannot believe I did that. And then from then on, I think I was in my own head. But anyways, so let's not do that again. And then maybe, I don't think I'm going to change much. I just, go at it the way I've been going at all the other seeds and see what happens. And, things have happened before and they may happen again. So who knows? Maybe I can do what I did last round and 2-1 it. Who knows? But we'll see. It'll be fun in the process. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. That's the right attitude. And I don't have a bracket to bust, so, go for it.
I'll give it my best shot. Well, thanks you all again. I'm gonna head on out, but I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
GG's to Stone Dingley, and thanks again, y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, GG's. Have a good evening.
And with that takes care of our thanks to everyone for putting on the show. We've got more action. The free enterprise race is already underway. Always, no spoilers, or you will get the bonk. But that is where we're sending you.
Yeah, we're over to game 1 of Possum Orpheus versus Woo Bear. Started about 30 minutes ago. So that'll be another exciting one. So there's always more free enterprise to watch.